Hello everyone, I am back with another video and this one's gonna be a fun one. This one's called AI versus artist. Here I have the AI image generator and looks to me that it's a decent picture. It has a lot of color to it but not a lot of liveliness, knowing that it's made from a machine. So my challenge here is, can I do better than AI? And let's see how we do. So for this one, I decided to put my little spin into it while also referencing the image, but not quite. So first, I would start sketching out my stuff and then move on to her head and did some sketching and also looking at the art. I was like, okay, let's see if I can do something a little bit different than it, but I will still follow what it wants to show, which is her long hair, and ignoring the long strand of hair at the front. So I decided to put two instead of just one because it kind of looks a little bit off. It doesn't flow as well, so I decided to have two of them. And after that I drew in her clothes, and it's kind of basic, but in the reference image it doesn't look like a real thing because the way it folds is kind of weird. I don't know what clothes does that. I expect it to be not just a sleeve, but it should be somewhat baggy, so I did decide to do that. And then after that I drew in her hair color, just really purple, not really like the purple you see here on the image, but I decided to do that instead just to put in a little bit of uniqueness in there. And then as you can see, it looks like a Christmas outfit because of the red and white, which I wasn't trying to go for. I was trying to look at the reference image and see what I can do to make it similar, but also put in my original ideas. So, and then I colored in her eyes brown, which I don't know, I don't think that's the original color of it, but I think I should have done a little bit more than a basic brown, but my bad guys. And then after that I decided to do all the shadows, and not only her hair but also on her skin where her neck is, where usually where the light doesn't show as much, which is basically, you know, shadows. And then I did the rest of that on not only her sleeve, but I also did a little bit on her hand. And then after that, after finishing the shadows and the highlights, I decided to polish everything, and then everything went into this. And here is our second image. Alright, let's see if I can make this image better. Alright, so for the second image, that one seemed a little bit weird just because of her little hair that's supposed to be from the back and goes to the front, and it looks kind of awkward because it looks like just one braid. And usually the braid, if there's only one braid, it should be in the back of the hair and flowing down in the middle, not really on the side, which looks weird in my opinion. I don't think AI did really good on that. So I decided to do a little bit of putting it's maybe like a short hair type of thing, but it's like a little pigtail, because in the reference image I see a little bit of that rolled hair, or hair that is kind of tied in like a pigtail. So I decided to, like, okay, I guess I'll do two strands of hair, a twin pigtail hair, instead of just one, because one just looks very weird. And then after that, I drew in her clothing and into that type of style. I'm not sure what it is. It's either a kimono or something similar like that. So I just drew that, and then I focused on drawing her eyes and also her nose and mouth, and gave her a different expression than what I did than the AI. So I gave her a different emotion than what AI showed me, and it's a little bit of like a nervous type of distancing away type of emotion. And then after that I colored in everything, like her hair, her little kimono, and then her eyes. Then drew in some of the shadows on her hair, her skin, and also on her clothes as well. And this on her hair, I put a little bit of red and a little bit of blue to show some how do you say, it looks kind of cool in my opinion. There's really no purpose for that. I just think it just looks a little bit nicer in my opinion. And then after that, I did color in the little wrapping right there, then shaded in her chest and then the sleeves, and then did a little bit in her the collar, I would say, the collar of it. In the reference photo, I did a bit of a polo collar. The one that AI showed me wasn't really that. I mean, I don't know what type of outfit that is, but I decided to put my little kimono slash high school girl outfit on, and I put a little bit of pink there just to show a little bit of uniqueness. And then I did some of the highlights on, such as her collar, did some of her clothes. And then after that, I did something different here. I saw a red bead on her hair on the reference image, so I was like, okay, why don't I just put it around where her hair is tied, just to put a little bit of character design here, like a little bit of originality, as you would say. And then I did her eyes, put in some of the shadows, highlights, and then did some of also doing some, and then I did some final touches as well, and here's our final product. Alright guys, so this is our third and final image, and as you can see here, there's something wrong with the hands. Yeah, 6 fingers, yeah, we definitely have that. Oh, and this little random thing right here, I don't know why this hair is popping out of the bow, and this random hair strand right here when it doesn't really fit into this hairstyle, but you know what, I'll use my imagination and probably make it better than AI. So just like the second one, I saw that this image here, it looks to be some sort of robe slash kimono thing, so I just did whatever I want to do. So first I planned out the pose first, and as you can see, it's different because, I mean, slightly different because I still kept in her hands, kind of her index finger and her thumb together, but also on the other arm it's her flicking her hair back, which is another addition, I would say, on my drawing. And then sketched everything out, you know, same as usual, and then I put in all the line work. And like the second one, it's like a little kimono, so I decided to put a little bit of a similar thing I did for the second one. Just like the other characters that I did, I put in a different pose and expression on her face. And then after that, I painted in her skin color, then did color in all of her clothing and hair, so I can figure out what her flat colors are. And drew in most of the colors, and then I did all the shadows to put emphasis on what hair is behind the hair in front. And then I put a little bit of a saturation, like that red color I just did. Then I put a little bit of blue to shade in the creases of the outfit, and then I did her skin as well. So I put in some skin. Then I did the highlights, which I wanted to put in a little bit of life into that hair. And from the reference photo, I don't think you can see that it's not really the same hair, because I just wanted to put a little bit more a flowy and more free hair, then rather than just some bob cut hair. And it doesn't look like much from the AI reference because it looks, the hairstyle looks kind of weird. And so I did everything else boomity bop, and then did all the shadows for her clothing and stuff. And then after that, put in the highlights, you know, basic stuff. And then after that, I would erase some of the extra color around, because you know you can't have any of those things in your drawing, otherwise it look kind of weird, right? You don't want extra color there. And so here's the final drawing. So the final answer is, am I better than AI in terms of visuals? Not really. Like, I noticed that the hair looks better and the overall image looks pretty good, but at the same time I would say that originality, and not only that, the uniqueness of my art style is me. So I just want to say that even though AI can produce all these pretty images, I believe that the artist can create something even more better than just pretty images, all that other stuff. Thank you for watching and have a great day.